We had to choose today, October 13th, 2025, as the day in history because it is Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. Now, it is always falling on a different day, so that kind of led us to doing that. But Columbus Day originated in the United States to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's voyage in 1492. Officially became a federal holiday in 1937. And Indigenous Peoples Day, though it may not be a federal holiday, still celebrated all across the country. In 2021, President Joe Biden issued the first presidential proclamation for the day, marking a kind of historic shift towards its recognition.